When it comes to exercise, sometimes the hardest part is just getting started, right? Swanson joins us now. We all could use some advice if you're struggling to get that ball rolling. Kara, thanks for being with us. We're going to both be honest, neither of us have gotten our exercise in today. Oops, I just exposed us. What are some common struggles when it comes to exercise?
Yeah, a lot of times we try to make these too big of goals, right? And so we try to say, if you're not set realistic expectations, if you're not working out, consistently already, don't expect to work out every day, in week one, you'll burn out really quickly. So instead, just work out 1 to 2 times a week, and then you can build upon that.
And 1 to 2 times a week, yeah, that is realistic. So let's talk about routine. What are some ways people can help themselves get into an exercise routine that sticks?
Yeah, do something that you enjoy or something that you can do while you watch a movie or your favorite show, like the treadmill or the bike, kind of start there. And then you can kind of play around with other things that, maybe you want to challenge yourself a bit more with.
And then when it comes to water and sleep, biggest factors, right? Because if you're dehydrated, you're going to have a really rough workout. And same with sleep. If you're sleep deprived, it's almost like personal torture. You're just like, how can I make myself more miserable and drained? Because it's hard to exercise coming from a place of just lack and dehydration deprivation. So essential. How do you form that routine? Should you exercise before you go to bed? Should you get it done first thing in the morning or maybe a lunch break? Does it just depend on the person?
I think it depends on the person and when you're going to stick to it. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's harder for people, to be consistent in the morning, but they're really consistent in the evening. My biggest tip is if you're just starting out, keep it short. It's okay to do it for 10 minutes to start, and then you can add on, each week, because that's going to create more of that consistency and that habit. And that's what we want, right? We want to be consistent and create that habit so that it's a lasting change.
So you're a busy working mom. How did you find your routine? What did you define like to work for you? It comes with trial and error, right?
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, I tend to like to work out earlier in the day. Didn't happen today. It's going to happen later though. But that's where I find, where I can keep my consistency in, and doing something maybe shorter, helps as well. Or getting outside, now that it's getting supposedly nicer, we can get outside.
Yeah. And I think at least for me, I try to be consistent with just break a sweat at some point in the day or get my heart rate going, just get the body moving. If you even just need to get outside and stretch a little bit, something's better than nothing. And I love, what you're getting at is grace with yourself. And it really just comes to just self-care. It doesn't have to be an hour and a half workout. I know I've had to kind of break the expectations for myself with that because it's just self-defeating. If you can't get that hardcore workout in every day, it's almost like when your resolutions drop off a couple months into the year, you start to just feel like, ugh, fell off the wagon again. But that's all such great advice. Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on my website, lifewelllived.fitness, or on Instagram at Swanson.
Beautiful. Always great to have you. Always refreshing to just put ourselves in check for self-care.